And I just got a question that's just ridiculous, that this mass deportation is inhumane, it's racist. That is a bunch of crap. You can't have millions of people come to our southern border. I have a right to claim asylum. I have a right to see a judge. I have a right to due process. They've killed more Americans than any terrorist organization in the world killed. So yeah, we said from day one, the worst first. But I want to say that someone asked me that question. If you're in the country illegally, you're not off the table. I said that from day one. Prioritizing something doesn't mean you forget about the rest. I may prioritize my family life over this, but I'm not going to forget about this. In all due respect, it's going to be the first administration who's going to achieve total operational control of the southern border.
How's the big, beautiful bill that President Trump is putting forward going to help bolster our national security as it pertains to mass deportations and our border as a whole?
Well, it's going to do a lot of things, right? It's going to give us more money to build a wall. It'll give us more money to put the technology in that wall. Not only did Joe Biden stop building the wall, he didn't put the technology that we had planned for the existing new wall, which does a lot of things. It gives us important data when someone's approaching that wall, climbing the wall, whatever. But most importantly, it allows for communication between Border Patrol agents on the radios, because there's a lot of dead spots on the border. If a Border Patrol agent needs help, many times he's got a dead radio because it's just not the technology around it. That technology in the border wall is going to allow agents to talk to one another, which is extremely important. It's going to add more boots on the ground. It's going to help seal that border. This administration, in all due respect, is going to be the first administration who's going to achieve total operational control of the southern border. I looked at the numbers last night. 1,800 gotaways average on Joe Biden yesterday. 41. 1,841. So we're real close, but the money's going to help secure the border on a permanent basis, put the infrastructure on that's going to help in the future. As far as interior operations, it's going to fund more ICE agents, of course, to go out and look for the bad guy, right? It's going to fund more beds, which we sorely need. We got about 50,000 in custody right now. We're funded, I think, for 34,000. ICE is already in the hole, but we need 100,000 beds. Everybody be arrested. If we want to deport, we need a bed for it, because you just don't arrest somebody and remove them in the interior. We got to make flight arrangements. We got to get travel documents from the host country. There's a lot of things we got to do, so we need the beds. So this will allow us to buy the beds we need. It's going to allow us to increase transportation contracts both on the ground and in the air to get people to a flight line, get people removed from the country. It's going to help give us more money for contracting, having smart companies come in to do the job that badges and guns are doing now. Badges and guns shouldn't do administrative work. We need all the badges and guns on the street, which means it doesn't take a badge and a gun to do processing. It doesn't take a badge and gun to do travel documents and call-ins. So it'll give us more money to bring contracts in to release badge and guns to the street. It's going to give us more overtime money, more Title III money for criminal investigation. So it's going to allow the president to keep his promise to American people that we're going to run the biggest deportation operation in this nation's history, and we need money to do that. Right now, ICE is arresting about 3 times more people in the interior than Biden did during the same time frame, but that's not enough. People ask me all the time, are you happy with it? I'm happy our numbers are a lot better than his, but I'm not satisfied. We've got a hell of a lot more to do. We need to arrest 3 times as many people arresting right now, and more money to allow us to do that.
Sir, two quick questions. First of all, I think a lot of people are wondering what is taking so long to bring charges against these New Jersey lawmakers who did insurrection on the ICE facility and assaulted ICE agents. Are you confident that they will be charged with crime?
Well, I believe one congresswoman already has today, right? Was charged today. I believe one congresswoman that I believe they keep saying they had oversight responsibilities. There's right way and wrong way to do it. You can call ICE and arrange a tour. We do it every day. And what they find when you go in that facility, you don't hear a squat. Anybody who had that tour, you haven't heard a squat from. Because the detention standards in that facility is better than any facility in the state of New Jersey. We'll compare our facility to any state or federal facility out there. Like, detention standards are very high. So what they did that day, you're going to have an oversight responsibilities, right way and wrong way to do it. Forcing your way into the facility is one way to do it. Putting your hands on an ICE officer is not the way to do it. So I said from day one, from the day of inauguration, you can hate on ICE all you want. You can protest all you want. Sanctuary cities can look the other way while ICE goes to arrest public safety threats from their communities, which is really their job, but you can't cross that line. You cannot knowingly harbor and conceal illegal aliens. It's a felony. You can't impede ICE law enforcement officers. It's a felony. You can't commit criminal trespass, and you certainly can't put hands on an officer or employee. The same week this all happened, I went to CBP Border Patrol Memorial that week for those who served and paid the ultimate sacrifice. I went to ICE Memorial. We went to National Law Enforcement Memorial. We were honoring the men and women who wear that badge of gun. At the same time, you got a member of Congress doing what she did. I think it was unprofessional. I'll leave the prosecution up to Lena Haba. She's the one prosecuting the case. Everybody asked me, what exactly should be charged with? That's Lena Haba's job. But the video I saw was unprofessional.
Mr. Homan, China snuck hundreds of thousands of illegals into the country. We hear a lot about deporting the gangbangers and stuff like that. Where are we at with deporting a lot of these Chinese nationals that came into this country illegally? Are we moving on that?
Yes. There's plans being worked on, but anybody that enters this country illegally is a crime, and we're going to hold them responsible. And, you know, they can claim asylum, we got to go through the asylum process, but everybody, every population. But right now we concentrate on the worst first, right? The trend to Agua, the MS-13, the public safety threats. The president has rightfully distinguished them as terrorist organizations because, you know, these cartels in Mexico and these TDA and MS-13, you add them up together, they've killed more Americans than any terrorist organization in the world killed. So, yeah, we said from day one, the worst first. But I want to say that someone asked me that question. If you're in the country illegally, you're not off the table. I said that from day one. Prioritizing something doesn't mean you forget about the rest. I may prioritize my family life over this, but I'm not going to forget about this, right? So prioritize means you get them first. If you got a criminal here, a non-criminal, they'll get the criminal first. But if you got the resources to take this non-criminal, you're going to do it. It's a violation of law to enter this country legally. It is a crime. It's not okay to enter this country legally. It's not okay to be here legally. And I just got a question that's just ridiculous, that this mass deportation is inhumane. It's racist. That is a bunch of crap. You can't have millions of people come to our southern border. I have a right to claim asylum. I have a right to see a judge. I have a right to due process. And when they get it, 90% get an order removal because they simply don't qualify for asylum. They're coming from a better life, and I get that. But they're not escaping fear and persecution from the homeland. So they get an order removal from an immigration judge. If we don't execute those orders and remove that 90% of the millions that came across, then what the hell are we doing? Just shut down the immigration court. Orders don't mean anything anymore. Take the border patrol off the border. There's no consequences. No. With a massive illegal immigration crisis, we know close to 9 out of 10 will end up with an order removal. Those removal orders has to be executed, or due process doesn't mean anything. And we send a message to the whole world: enter country legally. It's a crime. Don't worry about it. Ignore judge's orders. Stay. Don't worry about it. You're never going to fix this problem on a permanent basis. You have a right to claim asylum, but we have the right to execute those final orders, and there's a lot of them.
How long before more facilities are built, and do you plan that some of the conditions in some of those facilities in the U.S. will be a bit better? I understand that some of the women's facilities are a little bit in harsh conditions. I haven't been there by myself. What would you say to that? And I just want to say, I mean, I came here legally. When I fly into the country, we have
what you need to do is go to ice.gov and look at the detention standards. Read the detention standards. A lot of Americans would be upset of how much money we spend on our detention standards. When I was ICE director, we had a sheriff call me and says, I'm ending the contract with you. Your standards are too high. Why would I give the standards to your illegal alien when I have U.S. citizens in my jail that don't have the detention standards? Again, I'll go back to what just happened in Delaney Hall. Go look at it. I mean, we spend a lot of money on detention standards. So as far as our detention standards being inadequate, I will compare any of our facilities to any state or federal facility in this nation. Put them face to face. I think we'll come out on top every time.
With all these nonstop legal things, is there no way to these people all working somewhere? Is there no way to, like, social security numbers or figure out ways, you know, to keep them from working? This is the big confusion. All these people have jobs somewhere, right? Wouldn't that be a lot more efficient?
What's the question?
Well,
are we using social security information to find people? Are we looking at every option to find people? We absolutely are.
You are, okay.
Right.
Mr. self-deportation flight went out last night. Are you happy with the uptake of that program, and should we expect?
I think it was great. I think it was great. You're going to see a lot more of them. There's a lot of self-deportation that's not going through the program. CBP won that. We have intelligence reported the Darien Gap for years. You know, just thousands of people heading north of Darien Gap go down there now. They're heading south. So the President Trump, who's a game changer, and you can like him. I don't care if you like him or love the man. You can't argue with success. His first administration, we handed the Biden administration the most secure border in my lifetime. Dad approved it. Biden unsecured the border on purpose. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't mismanagement. They knew exactly what they were doing, right? And now just short time in the administration, today, we have the most secure border in the history of this nation, and the data proves it. The data proves it. I mean, the crossings under Joe Biden got up to, 10, 12,000. You know the crossings were yesterday? 211. 211 too many, but we arrested them all. But when you go from 12,000 to 211, that's the biggest drop in the history of this nation. We got more work to do. Should be zero gotaways, but the bottom line is President Trump. You like him or love him, he's a game changer. I'm a border guy, I'm an immigration guy. As far as what he's done to our border and interior enforcement, he's the greatest president of my lifetime. I know people hate me saying that, but wear my shoes and see the tragedies I've seen in 40 years. I've been with dying children. I've been with dead children. I talked to little girls who were raped multiple times by the cartel. When we have 96% less people coming to this country right now, how many women aren't being raped by the cartels? How many women and children aren't being sex trafficked in this country? How many people aren't dying on the border every day? How many people on terrorist watch list is not getting into this country? How many billions of dollars are the cartels not making? President Trump's a game changer. I'm proud to work for him.